5 days before the largest invasion in human history, Allied planners were running out of options. The men they had sent before never came back. Each had parachuted into occupied France with the same goal: gather intelligence, transmit it to London, and disappear before the Germans could find them. Each had failed. By the spring of 1944, the mission was simple and impossible at the same time. Someone had to go back. On May 1st, 1944, the door of a bomber opened over Nazi-occupied Normandy. At the edge of the open door stood a 23-year-old agent. She knew exactly what awaited her if she was caught: interrogation, torture, execution. This was the fate of nearly every Allied operative discovered behind enemy lines, so British intelligence made a final calculation. They would send someone the enemy would never suspect. She wasn't just trained to survive, she was trained to disappear. In the Scottish Highlands, she learned wireless radio operation until her fingers moved faster than conscious thought, Morse code drilled under exhaustion, interrogation resistance, weapons handling, silent movement. One of her instructors had once been a professional burglar. He taught her how to scale walls and vanish into darkness. Her cover was ruthless in its simplicity. She would pose as a teenage French farm girl, poor, uneducated, harmless. She was given worn clothing and taught to giggle at soldiers, to ask foolish questions, to let herself be underestimated. The men before her had been hunted because they looked dangerous. She would survive by looking invisible. That night, she jumped. Before dawn, she buried her parachute in British clothing and stepped into occupied France with nothing but a bicycle and a basket of soap to sell. By day, she pedaled the countryside, through villages, past checkpoints. Every mile revealed troop movements. Every road told a story. Every careless comment became intelligence. German soldiers waved her through checkpoints, amused by the chatter of a young girl who admired their uniforms and asked naive questions. They never even thought twice about her. At night, she became someone else entirely. In barns, forests, abandoned buildings, she assembled a wireless radio and transmitted coded messages back to London. German direction finding units could trace signals, so she never stayed long. She slept in fields, in haylofts, in the woods. Hunger was constant. Fear never left. Her codes were written on silk, lightweight and silent. After each transmission, she pierced the message with a pin so no code would ever be reused. The silk was hidden in her hair ribbon. Once at a checkpoint, German soldiers did stop her. They searched her bicycle, her basket, her clothing. Then one of them pointed to her hair ribbon. "Show me that." Without hesitation, she untied it. Her hair fell loose around her shoulders as she smiled and handed over the silk, carrying every secret she possessed. The soldier glanced at it and waved her through. For 4 months, she lived this double life. She transmitted 135 coded messages to London, more than any other female Allied agent operating in France. Those messages guided bombing raids, informed invasion planning, and helped prepare the ground for what was coming. They helped make D-Day possible. Only near the end of the war did her true identity become known. She was Phyllis Latour Doyle, an agent of Britain's Special Operations Executive. After the war, she vanished again, this time by choice. She married, moved to New Zealand, raised 4 children, and spoke little of what she had done. Even her family didn't know the full story. Not until decades later. In 2014, France awarded her the Légion d'honneur for her role in liberation. She accepted quietly. Phyllis died in 2023 at the age of 102. She outlived the regime that tried to destroy her, outlived the men who hunted her, outlived nearly everyone who knew what she had done. History often turns on massive armies and famous generals, but sometimes it turns on a girl with a bicycle, a ribbon in her hair, and the courage to jump anyway. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.